And we are live. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to today's call.
Good morning.
This is Talking NBB,
and
we live and direct, guys. So my name is Erika McKinley. I'm the Director of Program Development.
And I'm Dorothy McKinley. I'm the National Director of National Business Builders.
And check this out. We are broadcasting from Punta Cana.
All right now. Go ahead.
What I want y'all to do is y'all jump on, drop your city and your state, like it, share it, and tag somebody, and we're gonna do the same. So we're gonna start tagging you guys right now.
Some sharing and some tagging. So y'all just hold on out there.
Drop your city and your state, y'all.
We are excited.
So I hope y'all ladies excited too.
Super excited.
Yes, I am.
Uber excited, super excited. That's what I'm talking about.
Super.
You got to get Tarsha. All right, we're sharing, y'all. So there's no delay, there's no pause. We're just sharing right now.
Okay.
Give me 1 second as we tag y'all. And once we tag y'all, we'll be getting this thing going here in a minute. It's a beautiful Saturday morning. Hope you guys are doing well this morning.
Doing awesome.
Yes, sir. And we're glad that y'all guys are doing better than amazing. I wish I was where you are.
Well, we need to go ahead and plan this group trip. We were talking about this. We were talking about planning.
My husband said the same thing.
Planning a business conference.
All right, well, come us in. We're there. We love to travel.
Okay, Miss Teresa's coming back in. Let me see.
Yes. Yay.
There we go.
All right, Miss Teresa, we got you in. How can you hear us?
No, man. No.
No.
We can hear you.
Hey, honey.
Okay, can you hear Pastor?
That's better now.
Can you hear me?
It keeps going.
So much better? Okay.
Yeah, relax. We can't control the airwaves. You know what I'm saying? All we're gonna do is fight on through it. So we know that things happen sometimes, and that's okay. We're prepared for that. Okay, for that. So can you hear Pastor Erika?
Can you hear me?
Can you hear me? Both of you are cutting out.
Okay, so if at any time we say something and you can't understand us, we'll talk a little slower so it doesn't, if it doesn't come all the way through. But just ask us to repeat ourselves and somebody will get the message to you, okay? So good morning.
Pretty much we'll repeat the question to you.
Good morning, ladies and
gentlemen.
Morning. We are live and direct.
Good morning.
Jump on, drop your city and state, like it, share it, and tag someone. This is round 3, guys. Round 3 of our Solid Crime Movement interview. We have some phenomenal women that are on this call this morning, and some information with some individuals out here. So, guys, if you're out there and you're one of their friends, you should be tagging your timeline. You should be tagging your friends. You should be talking your family and friends. Share it. So we're gonna get started with the visionary. Okay, we're gonna get started with the visionary, and which is Pastor Erika.
That's right.
That's
right. So I'm so excited to introduce the visionary of this awesome movement. She is a bestseller. Oh my gosh, she has written so many books and I love every last one of them. She is just so amazing. Her company, MEP Publishing, her and her husband, they are just so amazing. And this Silent Crime movement, it's just awesome. It's awesome because she's brought together 9 phenomenal women, along with herself, so that we can, share our stories. Everybody has a story, in them. And so I introduce to you guys Erika Moore.
Hey, family. Thank you. The Wealth Queen. I love that. Listen, I'm excited to be with y'all this morning. And I thank y'all for not finding it robbery not to be with us on this morning. So I love you both. Thank you. And I just wanted to say that The Silent Cry, The Secrets of the Dark, is more than a book. It's a movement, and it was based and formed for women and children who have gone through domestic violence, any type of sexual and physical assault, whatever trauma that we've endured. I wanted us to come together so we can learn how to heal properly. It's just like if you scrape your knee and you put orange juice on it, it's not going to heal. You need the right prescription. You need the right, diagnosis of what's wrong and how do we deal with it. And 9 times out of 10, the church just want to cast out demons, and they're not really qualified to deal with mental illness or depression. Everything is not demonic. And as a pastor, I find it very disturbing that how we overlook, well, just put prayer oil on them. And that's fine and all, but you're not getting to the root of the problem. Where is the pain coming from? We have a lot of children that are misbehaving, and right away we just want to beat them, punish them, but you don't know what's going on because you're not educated. So I formed this movement out of my pain when I finally exposed that I was molested by a family member, and I heard that she's lying, and that did something to me. So last year around this time, The Silent Cry was birthed. God gave it to me. He said, you will go forth and I will prevail. And to bring 9 awesome women into this movement is better than amazing, because each one of us have our own story, how we overcome. So I'm looking forward to success stories and helping other women like us get healed, empowered, and restored.
Awesome. So, you said some key things, you're right. Everyone experiences some type of trauma,
right?
Everyone. And it's sad to say that, especially in different communities, I know in the African-American community, a lot of times we like to push things under the rug, push it to the side, put it in the room and close the door. We don't want to deal with things head on. We don't deal with things and actually go through that therapy. As a matter of fact, most black people are not even, and I know this is not just a black issue, but most black people are not even willing to do any type of therapy. And I mean, myself personally,
absolutely.
I trauma through PTSD in the military, and it was what, 5 years, maybe 7 years before I even went to go see a doctor.
Right.
So it's really prevalent that in our community that we don't do it, but it's very important that we do. We need to actually do it. We need to make sure we address the root cause of the issue.
Right.
And like you said, there's nothing wrong with prayer. There's nothing wrong with laying hands. There's nothing wrong with believing. But the Bible also talks about, goes on to say that faith without works is dead. And we have to understand that if we in a ministry or in a leadership, any type of leadership position, if we're not qualified, then we need to bring qualified individuals to the table. We need to confirm, verify that they're qualified, bring them in, and then we can start working with some of these issues in our communities, in our households, in our families. Right. Because there's some issues going on right in that organization. When you talked about the church, just so y'all know, if y'all listening, none of this stuff is scripted. We don't have scripted conversations. So you brought the idea, the topic up about the church, and it's going to step on some toes. So if your toes,
I don't care.
Right now, you may want to change. You may want to change the channel because we're talking about real issues here. Right. This is what's going on.
Amen.
And it comes from somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
It's a seed that's planted. Just like seeds of prosperity are planted, seeds of discord are planted as well. Seeds of planted as well. So it's seeds that are planted, and we need to weed through those seeds, weed through those seeds, and start to address the real problem. And a lot of the problem is miseducation. That's a lot of the issues starting off. How dare someone call someone a liar?
Right.
without even understanding what's going on or knowing the facts.
Right.
You know,
Right.
so a lot of that stems from seeds that are being planted. We have got a couple of viewers on this morning.
Good morning, everybody.
And thank y'all for jumping on.
Thank y'all for joining.
And make sure you guys share and drop your city and state. Thank y'all. So when you created this movement and you had some pushback from some close people in your life, how did that personally, like, as much as you want to share, how did that personally affect you?
I was devastated. Because I don't know how I got the title of being messy or a liar. So that was devastating, because my predator, who I was afraid of, and including the person that was my personal caretaker, they have groomed me from day one to be afraid of them. So when the truth finally came out and my father said that he believed me, I haven't heard from my family. And to be honest, I'm good. I am better than amazing. And I'm no longer going to deny my peace, my healing for people who can care less if I live or die. People think because you're blood related, that's your family. Nah, the McKinleys, y'all are family. You are our family. So family doesn't have to necessarily be blood, but we're all related through the Father. So I'm learning that I had to unlearn everything that they taught me or didn't teach me. And I thank God for my husband, who is a prayer warrior, who interceded for me on many occasions, because I was preaching. I'm preaching, people happy, but I wasn't happy. People getting healed. My inboxes are constantly full. Pastor Erika, thank God for you, but I wasn't free.
Wow.
I was hurting. So I'm good that we're finally disconnected, because now I'm going to live life on my terms, the way it's supposed to.
Oftentimes we connect to the wrong source. And just because you to a source and you get power, that's power.
That's right.
So that word groomed, it came up again, and I've been using this word recently for a lot of things, especially, and not to get off topic, but when I talk about finance a lot, we are groomed.
Mm-hmm.
And you know who grooms individuals? Predators.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody gonna get that in a minute. Predators groom.
Oh, I got it.
To be able to do
Absolutely.
From infancy.
Yeah, they groom you. And the word being groomed is to shape, to form, right? And people have been shaped and formed to hurt. They've been shaped into a hurt. They've been formed in the position to be able to be hurt. And now we have to undo we have to undo what has been done. And in order to do that, we have to be educated. Now, I'm not a doctor, but it doesn't take a lot of common sense to pay attention to know that there's some things that's out there that's wrong, that's going on. So I appreciate you for your story and telling us, what made you, start this movement. And, like Dorothy said, you got 9 other fantastic, phenomenal women.
Yes,
that,
I'm excited.
That are partnered with you. And I'm excited as well. So we got Miss Teresa McKoy. Can you hear me, Miss Teresa?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay.
All right.
So good morning. How you doing?
I'm like Pastor Moore. I'm better than amazing.
All right.
Awesome.
So thank you for taking out some time to come in and share some information with us this morning. If you could share with us, a little bit about yourself, who you are, if you're married, if you have any children, your background a little bit, and tell us just a little bit about yourself.
Okay, thank you. Good morning, and God bless each of you. It's such a pleasure to be on this call this morning with you beautiful people. I am Teresa McKoy, Teresa Ragland McKoy. I was raised in Angier, North Carolina. My parents are deceased, which were Joseph and Willie Mae Ragland. I have 2 children. I have been married before. That's from my first marriage. I'm now married to Louis McKoy out of Gunn, North Carolina. where we have, he has 2 children. So together we have a blended family of 4. And believe it or not, 3 sons have given us 14 grandchildren. So I'm trying to get all the wisdom and knowledge I can from all of you all to help me with my journey. So I'm so excited to be on the call this morning. I am a property manager for commercial real estate and here in Greensboro, North Carolina. And I'm just excited to be here. I love God. I love people. I love being able to reach out and help whenever I can. So I'm just excited about this journey. And I'm more than honored to be a part of such a great team of ladies to produce this book and get it out into people's hands so they'll know our story and know that it's okay to talk about it. Oftentimes, I remember growing up and I remember some of my siblings saying this, and it kind of puzzled me or hurt me a lot because would say, what happens in this house stays in this house. And I think that has caused a lot of Black families to be hurt, to not know what to do, to be afraid to talk. And I've held some things within myself for years because I was told what happens in this house stays in this house. So therefore, shut your mouth, don't say nothing to anyone. And if you need something, you talk to me. But I found out that's good. But then we also, like was said earlier, we need to reach out and get the proper help and training we need to be more successful in our lives. So I do appreciate the opportunity.
So,
Wow.
so Miss Teresa, and I know it's a little bit of a time delay. So, that's why we're waiting a little bit. So,
Yeah.
but I want to address something. Oh, you want to address
No,
it?
I was just going to talk
Yeah.
about the whole what happens in this house stays in this house. How many of us have heard that? You know what I'm saying? It stuck with us. And how much has that hurt us? I mean, that's just
Right.
Oh my God.
I know in the beginning, I can only imagine in the beginning why we would say that. And it doesn't have anything to do. I wouldn't want to think that it has anything to do with someone being physically abused. Even though, if you look back
Yeah,
at
I don't think it started out like
yeah,
that.
if you look back at everything, we were being
right.
if you look at today,
Yeah.
if you look at today, society looks at physically, if you whip your child with something,
Right.
other than an open hand, that's abuse. But I'm talking about something that's going to drastically change someone's life
Right.
and have an impression on their entire world.
Right.
That is a scare tactic. What happens in this house stays in this house.
Right.
And a lot of times, especially as a child, we can't determine
Right.
what we're supposed to tell and what we're not
Right.
supposed to tell.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We can't decipher between
Right.
the two. And
Exactly.
Yeah. And so I think, now that we know better, we have, most of us have grandchildren, then we should be better prepared to let them know, okay, this is, for like if it's something that's really hurting, that they need to talk about, they need to talk about it. Not what stays in this house, what happens in this house stays in this house. No, you need to, if it's something that's hurting you, then you need to speak up. You need to speak out about it. Right. So I think, us grown and older and going through that, we should be able to educate our children and our grandchildren about that now.
But then hold on. Here's the other thing. Before we can educate anyone, we must first be educated.
Yeah, absolutely.
And oftentimes,
come on, that part.
We are not educated enough to be able to even understand, what and where we need to be going and what we need to be doing. So I applaud anyone who's out there listening right now and saying, hey, there's some things going on that doesn't seem right. Find someone that you trust. Find someone that you're comfortable with talking to. Find someone who is going to be a ear. You know what I'm saying? Be an ear, because what happens is if we don't if we don't understand how to come across to people, then it's going to sound like it's not believable.
Right.
So we gotta learn how to talk to our children. Bottom line, we have to learn how to have that conversation. We have to learn how to have it. We have a conversation about our kids doing all other types of things.
Right.
We got to learn how to have this conversation, which means we got to prioritize and find out what is actually important and what is not important.
So Teresa, I just want to ask, so how's your family taking, the book and maybe something coming out with some things that that maybe they don't want to hear? How's that going for you as far as your family?
Well, I've told pretty much everyone in my family, and several have already purchased the book, pre-ordered the book. So, and honestly, at this point in my life, at 61, it doesn't matter. Right. I'm going to tell the story. They can accept it or not accept it. It's truth, and it needs to be told. And I'm not going to, in my house 35, 40, 50 years ago, should be buried, should be dead. It needs to be told, because I do not want anyone to have to do things I dealt with growing up that really has affected, and I get emotional talking about it, has affected me up until now. I met and have been dealing with Pastor Erika, where she saw, and she didn't know, the issues I've had to deal with throughout my life, but it took her heart to ask me to be a part of this movement. And by doing that, that opened the door for me to talk about it and heal. Because for years I held grudges. For years I held unforgiveness. Thank God I didn't die with it. Thank God I have an opportunity to repent, forgive, and move on. Now, will I forget the issues? Will I forget what happened? No, because I need to use that as a teaching tool and as a stepping stool for me and for my family, for my 14 grandchildren that really need to know how to handle issues in life. Things that your parents did that you had nothing to do with, but still,
come on.
61, I'm having repercussions on that. So I know and be able to help others deal with it, because it's not fair, because I missed out on a lot of opportunity because I was afraid. I talk about it, afraid to ask questions, because I didn't know if I would get my head slapped off or if I was told to go sit down, shut up. You know what I'm saying? So then at this point, it really, I'm not going to say it doesn't matter. It does matter. But I'm afraid I'll probably lose some family members that won't speak to me or associate with me anymore. But it's been whispered so long. Is it true? Is that real? Did that really happen? Is she really? Come on. So I'm like, okay, it's time to tell the story. It's time to let go, close the book on it, and let people know exactly what I had to deal with to get to where I am today. So
absolutely,
I have told some and they've received it, and some have said anything to me. So I guess they don't receive it. It really doesn't matter.
Right. It doesn't matter. You know what? Like for me, what matters to me is my healing and me helping other people. Because I know that there's, somebody out there right now that's probably in this situation that I went through at the age 16 for 6 years, that's going through it right now. So I can't sit back and worry about my family and what they have to say or what they think. No, this is for my healing and for the people that are out there that are going through the situation right now. So I can't worry about that. Whatever. I don't care. It's about my healing right now and helping other people.
Absolutely.
So
and we're gonna get to this. We're gonna get to this, Miss Tarsha, because Miss Tarsha, she's she's waiting, man.
Page, I agree with you.
Miss Tarsha, she's like double dutch. She's waiting to jump in. We got to take a small break, just a small break to announce. We have sponsors, y'all. We have sponsors for this month. So if y'all don't know, this month is Women's International History Month, and in lieu of, excuse me, not in lieu of, but because of this, we decided to host this show for the next week.
Yeah,
so
we have
this is
one
our
more
third
show.
week. This is our third week,
Yep.
and we do something special for Women's History Month. So we asked to have a couple of companies sponsor the call, and the purpose for the sponsors is twofold. We want to make sure that we're giving back to the community,
Right.
but we also have opportunity to help them to share their information and their businesses as well. So we got Miss Lorraine Bradley out of Baton Rouge, Louisiana. She is the owner of Diamond Marquee Grill and Catering, and you see her information scrolling across the bottom. She does seasonings. She does barbecue sauce.
Oh my
When I
goodness,
tell
she
you,
has the bomb
she
barbecue
can
sauce.
cook, y'all. She can cook.
Yes.
And she has a website, access to your website that you can actually order. We went down to Louisiana a couple of weeks ago now.
A couple of
Of weeks ago, we stayed just for 2 days, but we were able to get some samples. We don't have it with us. We were able to get some samples from her, and each one of the interviewees, guests are going to be getting a package from us at the end of these calls. So at the end of March, we're going to be sending you guys a care package, a little swag bag, okay, from our sponsors.
Thank you.
Oh, I love it.
Get some stuff, and we also have Miss April Frazier. Miss April Frazier out of Charleston, South Carolina. She is the owner of Butter Me Up Butters. Guys, listen. She
has the shea butter. She has sea moss,
elderberry.
I mean,
Elderberry.
really great stuff. That sea moss is really good. You know. For health, and the elderberry, of course, you know, with what's going on, that, you know, kind of helps you with your immune system. So, and then she has some little, you know, that stuff that keep you real slick. That shea butter, keep you real slick. We love that. So she's also one of our sponsors as well.
Okay, so we got two more. We're gonna bring them out later on. Got two more sponsors. We're gonna bring those out later on. But we want to go ahead and get to our next guest, Miss Tarsha Gunn. She also was able to get on this morning, and she's here sharing her story with us this morning. So, Miss Tarsha, just do us a favor and just let us know where you're from, what you do, your status. Tell us a little bit about yourself, okay?
Okay. My name is Tarsha Gunn, and I am originally from Virginia, but I was raised here in Fayetteville, North Carolina. I am the mother of two awesome, I hate to say children, of a great adult and a teenager. And I just finished a course, my last course yesterday. I graduated last March with my master in finishing yesterday my certification in couples and relations. So I will be taking my LPC very soon and be a licensed therapist. So y'all were talking about counseling, and I'm like, y'all were talking my language.
Awesome.
Well, I hope we ain't saying anything out of the way. I hope, you know, I like to talk, so I hope I ain't saying anything. But you broke up, Miss Tarsha. Can you tell us what your degree is in? Because it broke up. Can you tell us?
Mental health counseling.
Okay. Awesome. So yeah, go ahead. You got the floor.
Yeah,
let's talk
And
about
yes. Certificate in couples and family relations. I finished my internship, and during that time I worked with people with addictions. I grew up in a home with a mom who actually lost a lot. And when she did, my 15-year-old brain couldn't understand what's going on. Now that I'm how she, and self-medicated. And so when I say two awesome children, my children, and again, bring it up, church. A lot of churches do not want to, you know, if you say your kid has a diagnosis or your kid is on medication, oh my God, you better pray it. No, it is okay to go to church, have a therapist, and take medication. So I have two children, and both my children have high functioning autism. They both are bipolarism, and my daughter, she's her own special kind of oppositional. And so I always would say, everything as I was going to school and going to supervision, touch, I had a lot to say, but it was kind of like it didn't want to be heard because you don't have clients. And one day I was driving home and I was kind of in my, and the Lord said, have clients now, but you live with the clients. So with that, I have an understanding of what it's like to live with all of the, the different things, the life coach, the person who's been taking care of my two children, and I also raised my sister. So my sister is 41. She also has bipolar, and now she won't medicate. So we've had some turbulence in there. And oddly enough, if anybody ever looks at the page, they'll see that I'm always talking about Nana's babies, and people are always, girl, how you a Nana? Well, my sister's children, when they were younger, started calling me Nana. So as far as I'm concerned, although I'm only 47, I have a 23-year-old grandbaby. So, and they all come to me when they're having problems, and I mentor a lot of people because as Pastor Erika was talking, and she was saying, and also Teresa, one of the things that I say is where it happened is where sometimes we're growing, and to start walking through that healing, you are still sometimes acting as if that 12-year-old child keeps showing up. That 13-year-old child keeps showing up because you haven't fully had the opportunity to heal and grow.
So you said something. You said a couple of things. You said a couple of things that really hit me. And I wanna reference something and bring it together. You were on one of our shows the other night. You popped on one of our financial shows, and there's a gentleman on there. I'm not gonna call his name, but there's a gentleman on there. He speaks with such articulation. He speaks with such eloquence and grace, and he always talks to us about killing people with kindness, but being meek as well. And we have to learn how to win people over with our meekness. The fact that your niece and nephew, the fact that they're able to come to you, lets me know two things. One, that they're comfortable with you, and two, that you're doing something correctly. The other part about it is when we talk about a mental imbalance, because our body's made up of chemicals. And this is what the leaders in the church, leaders in the church don't understand. Like you said, there's nothing wrong with being on medication. See, we get diagnosed with things, but we don't have to accept it as our final.
Right.
So we have to work through it. We have to work through it. So let me ask everybody on this panel a question. And this is just a rhetorical question, so don't answer it, but just listen. If you went to the doctor and the doctor told you that you had a heart problem and you needed to take heart medication, would you consider taking that medication? You see what I'm saying? Because being chemically imbalanced mentally is no different than having an issue with one of your body parts. Okay. If you had, if somebody was a avid drinker and their liver was shriveled up, and the doctor told them that if they didn't stop drinking, that they was gonna die. And by the way, they had to take some pills to kind of rectify the issue. See, a lot of people don't understand, and they speak to respond, but they don't listen to understand. They listen to quickly respond, but not to understand. And oftentimes what happens is there's nothing wrong with taking a medication to keep that balance. But nobody says stop praying while you're on the medication.
That's right.
If somebody is morbidly obese and they have to take some type of medication, or if they have high blood pressure, you understand what I'm saying? They're gonna do whatever they feel like they need to do to get that thing under control. There's no difference. If y'all are out there listening, we're talking about the silent cry movement. Secrets of the Dark, and how people are being traumatically affected by different experiences in their lives. And this young lady just made some valid points about why we don't, and I heard what you said without saying, why we don't look at trauma as an issue. It's an issue. And there's a different type of medicine that we need with trauma.
It's a very big issue.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, Tarsha, I commend you for, going into the field of mental, that mental health field, because it's all about that education piece. And I believe that you saw a need within your own family to be educated. So that's just amazing. And I'm so excited, for you about that. But also, you do something else too, because I'm looking at your background there, and I see a very nice painting back there. So can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, ma'am. I can. Well, actually, my son, he draws. And we were one day, and he was just doodling and drawing in his notebook. And the pastor at that time asked him, and my son was very, yes. He said, well, can you really draw? Yeah. And so he said, well, can you draw on that baptismal wall? My son said, yes. What you want? And this young man drew a big dove holding an olive branch with water coming up, with mountains in the back, and cloud. And so I grabbed a paintbrush, and because I wanted to help him out, and I started painting the water. And I was like, oh, this feels good. So then I see things. I was like, oh, those clouds need to be sponged. So I ran to the store and got sponges, and I came home and I bought a key, and I started painting. My therapy at that time, because of all the things that I was taking in doing my internship, I would come home and I would just bust open a canvas, and I call it pouring my emotions on canvas. I do it while I pray and while I'm worshiping, and it literally to a business. So I now am the owner of the Anointed Hands Artistry by Tarsha G LLC.
Listen, I watch you all the time, and I see those paintings, and I'm like, you know what? I gotta have some of that on my wall. So you will be getting a call from me really soon. So I'm excited about your journey, for that. I'm really excited about it, and looking forward to seeing more, from what you're doing. So back to Silent Cry. So tell us a little bit about, what really kind of made you, agree to, to partner with the ladies on this movement.
There are books in me. And I've been told that. I've known that for years. I never knew how to get started writing the books. But Erika Pastor Erika called me, and she asked me, we didn't even know each other. She asked me if I could speak on the Silent Cry. And I was like, absolutely. I love being able, I just have to pick out what testimony I'm going to do, And so when she mentioned it was like, yes, I'll do it. Absolutely. And so it has been a journey. And I often say hurt people. And in the while we were talking early, we were talking about language. And I often tell people, a lot of people only know how to talk from hurt language. And I feel like healed people help people on their journey to healing. So for my portion, I'm writing from a portion of healing. I'm writing to the young girl who didn't understand, who didn't feel like her self-worth was worthy thing. And I'm writing to the ones who, were names, or like me, for instance, being my children's parent is a job all within itself. So the stigmas that come with that, the things that come with having children that are on medication, or having a daughter who part of the Tasmanian And because she would go into a room and she would tear that whole thing apart. And I was, that as, you are the worst parent ever. You need to get that child under control. You need to, and for me, it was like, I'm doing what I need to do and what I should do. So they're therapy kids. So I promise y'all, they'll tell me real quick, don't therapize me, mom, because they have their own therapist. So I enjoyed writing my portion of the book. It was a great release for me and a great tool to use to help other women find themselves and find their voice, because I'm gonna be honest, I really didn't have secrets to tell. I didn't have a voice. That was my thing. I didn't have a voice. So like voice had, so, and now I'm an advocate for them to have a voice. And I use my voice to help people on their journey to healing.
And
Awesome.
don't sell yourself short, because not having a voice can be just as tragic.
Yes.
As being.
Oh yes.
It's still trauma.
Right.
There's a reason why you didn't have a voice.
Yeah.
Right.
There's a reason why. So
I love that, what you said about hurt people
speak hurt languages.
Yeah.
I wrote.
Yeah.
I said hurt people speak a hurt language.
Hurt people hurt people, and then you said heal people. Yeah. So that that's amazing. I'm looking forward to hearing your story. When Pastor Erika called me about it, I was like, I really get to talk about this, because it was one of those things for me that I just kind of it was just back in my mind. I didn't, that was 23 years ago, and I didn't want to talk about it, but I knew back in my mind that I had to talk about it. I had to get it out. Half of my family don't even know this story. Because I was disconnected, at such an early age, starting off at 16. So half of my family, they're gonna read this book and they're gonna be like, oh wow, because they had no idea about what I was going through. Yeah. But I knew that when she called me, that it was nothing but God, telling me, hey, listen, you need to tell this story. You need to get this story out there because you need to help people and you need to heal yourself. You need to stop letting it be back there, way in the back. It needs to come forward.
Yeah.
So that's why I decided, to partner with the Silent Cry movement. I'm so excited to be doing this with you ladies. You guys are so awesome. And I'm excited to read your stories as well.
So we gotta take another short break to recognize our last.
Very excited.
To recognize our last two sponsors, and our last two sponsors are, drum roll. we got Pastor Erika and Apostle Moore. They are the owners of Moore Entertainment Production. They're let me get this NBB Publishing. I apologize. NBB Publishing, and they are one of the reasons why we're here. So if you guys have a book in you, which everybody does have a book in them, whether you are a poet, whether you are a public speaker, whether you are doing
even children's books,
books,
guys, so
get
exciting.
Get with them and see what they're about, so they can help you to make your dream come true. Remember, things are built 3 times: once in our minds, once on paper, and then it's actually constructed, erected. So when you put that thing in the book, that means it's constructed. And then the last one is my lovely queen, Wealthwear and Designs by D. Wealthwear by D. She is a phenomenal businesswoman, entrepreneur. That's her baby right there by herself. She has her print all over it. And I'm proud of her, because when we started this journey some 5 years, a little bit more than 5 years ago, we never thought about being business owners. All we thought about was, working until we died.
Pretty much.
And I'm gonna tell you something. It's a lot of times we have gifts And Tarsha, she actually proved that we have gifts that are suppressed. We may have not buried those gifts. We may have not buried those talents. They may just be suppressed, and they just never came to the top. And something happened in her to make her gift come to the top. The cream rises, y'all. The cream rises.
Amen.
So kudos to all y'all for what y'all are doing. I'm super excited. Thank you for all our sponsors for allowing to partner with us during this broadcast for this month and sponsoring the call. And you're going to be getting some things from the sponsors.
Yeah, you guys gonna be goodies.
You're going to be getting some grab
We call them
bags.
a swag bag.
Yeah, you know why I call it swag.
Yes.
Don't tell them why you call it swag. Please don't tell them.
Okay,
Please.
I'm not going to tell them.
Listen,
Yeah,
I'm
y'all.
curious now.
Swag.
Mm-mm.
Everybody like free stuff, right?
Yes.
But the acronym SWAG stands for stealing without a gun. You know, when you go to these events, they have these grab bags and everything, right? And they got the little keychains, they got the little cards, they got the little cups and stuff in there. So everybody
And
like
we
that
try
little,
to get everything. No,
Yeah.
we
So-
try to fill that bag up with
Yes,
all
we
the
do.
stuff.
so that's
Yes, we
just
do. Yes, we do.
it's a swag bag. We lost the two ladies. Hopefully they'll come right back in. I know having some issues with the internet service, but want to ask you a couple of questions, Pastor. Go ahead.
Okay.
1 second. 1 second.
Yes. Well, I'm looking forward to my swag bag.
Well, listen, we got some awesome gifts, coming in this swag bag. I'm excited about it. So, all right. So let me see. So, Pastor Erika. So,
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about what do we want to talk about now?
Still talking about the silent cry.
Yeah, we're talking about the silent cry.
Because you just came up with you just had a 1 year anniversary, right?
Yes.
Yes, this month.
Okay. So here's the 1 year, and it's kind of crazy how this month, Women's International History Month, is the 1 year anniversary. We collaborated to do this call.
Yes.
And what you got going on?
So I know next week, in celebration of the anniversary, we're going to have a week of services, and we have 5 phenomenal women that are coming. Like tomorrow, Monday is going to be Dr. Eileen Lyons from Spring Lake, North Carolina. Tuesday is going to be one of our very own co-authors, Pastor Tammy Fuller. Wednesday, a good friend of mine from New York, missionary Stacy Gilly. Thursday, we have the lovely Elder Teresa McKoy. And then Friday, my editor, my sister, my coach, my mentor, my confidant, Pastor Denise Walker is going to be with us. So I'm excited.
Wow, man. That's
and
amazing.
1 year, I didn't even know that, the movement, been around that long. So that's amazing. I'm excited. I'm excited for you. I'm excited about the movement. So that's just great.
So if y'all are just jumping on, you missed it.
I missed it. Y'all missed it.
Replay.
You ought to be ashamed of yourself. So now you got to look at the replay, and it ain't always the greatest when you're looking at it already pre-recorded. But nevertheless, still look at it, okay? Still look at it. So what I want y'all to do is, if one of these young ladies tags you personally, they're going to be putting the link into the comments. I want y'all to put y'all link in the comments.
Yeah, put your link, put your Cash App, in the comments. Make sure that when you put it in the comments that it's on all, that everybody can see it. For how to purchase or pre-order your book.
Yep.
Okay, so make sure you go ahead and put all that information in the comments. Okay.
Yeah, don't put it in the private comments. Put it in the public.
Make sure
comments.
it says public. Because we want to make sure that everybody can see how that they can pre-order your book. We are excited about it. So make sure you get that information out to your.
And this is why we have this opportunity for you guys to share what you're doing. Also, if you have another business, Miss Tarsha, Miss Teresa, put anything that you are doing in the comments so people can contact you. Okay?
That's right.
So people can contact you. What we want to do is let you know that this is about you. It's going to be seen again. It's not going anywhere. your friends can actually like our page.
Mhm.
Hopefully they like our page, National Business
Yeah.
Builders. They can like it at National BB LLP, and they'll get an opportunity to see the other recordings. We
Mhm.
also have a YouTube page as well. I'm gonna do the YouTube on there as well.
Mhm.
All these recordings are done, are actually saved there as well. So, what's our YouTube? Let me see.
Yeah, so make sure you get all of your information out there. Make sure you're sharing, with your friends and your Facebook friends and family, so that we can, get this book out there, because it's going to help. We're hoping that it helps millions and millions of people. So just make sure you get all your information in the comments. All right.
We got some people.
We have some people
on here
that are commenting. Okay, we have a Joyce Cleveland. Okay. From Alabama.
Gadsden, Alabama.
Okay, Tarsha Gunn is well known for prayer. Okay.
She's a prayer intercessor to countless families. She's been a counselor. Okay, she's getting some props. Okay, all right.
Awesome.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
Yes.
So I want y'all to understand the reason why we do this. We don't do this for any personal gain. Of course, we want people to recognize and see that we're actually out here assisting and helping business owners to broadcast and be public with their business. We're not charging for these calls. We're not asking anybody to give us anything. All we're asking is that you like and share the page. And if you are somebody out there who wants to share your story,
yes,
if you want to be interviewed, feel free to contact us, okay? Mm-hmm. If you have a book that you want to write, contact NBB Publishing. There's an opportunity out there to share your testimony.
Yes.
See, once you pass the test, it's no longer your story to keep.
That's right.
It's somebody else. And we have to understand that there's a lot of people out there who are experiencing different traumas, not just women. There's men as well.
Right.
There's
men
children.
As well.
There's children. Yeah. And we have to create a safe place and a safe space for people.
Yes.
Something that Miss Tarsha said that really hit me. She said that at the time her 15-year-old mind could not understand what was going on. How many people do you know are trapped because they're not healing in that time space? How many people do you know who are trapped, and every time something happens, something triggers, they go back to that space because they're not healed? I'm telling you, it's crazy, and I can't even compare, but just a little bit. I can remember leaving home at the age of 17 or 18 to go to the military. When I left home, that's how my friends knew me. So I was, every time I go home, and a lot of people don't know, I talked to my wife about it briefly, but when I go home, that's what I see. I see me at 17 or 18 years old, because that's the timeline that I cut those people off. That's the, not really cut them off, but that's the timeline we separated. So being trapped in a space and just having to replay it over and over and over again is something, man. So we gotta be able to create a safe place and a safe space for adults and children alike,
right?
To make sure that they can actually have an opportunity to get this out. Right. Because I'm gonna tell you, the last thing we want is for us to release this thing in the bad, wrong situation. See, it festers. This thing festers. And when it festers, after a while, what happens is it's gonna pop. Yeah. And you don't want to be around when it pops.
That's right. That's right.
You want to be around when it pops. So, ladies, I know y'all was having some internet connection issues. Miss Teresa, do me a favor as we bring this thing to a close. If you could leave our audience, our listeners, with one thing, if you can leave them with one thing, what would you leave them with?
I just want to encourage everyone that in Jeremiah, where it talks about God knows the plan he has for you, plan to prosper, his plans for me are so phenomenal. And I'm just coming to the realization of who God really is and the power that I have within me, because he lives on the inside. and now I can go forth and do what God has called me to do. So forgetting about the past, I would tell everyone to forgive, so you can heal. That is the beginning of your future. You cannot, if you don't heal, then you are limited to what God has for you. That will hinder your goal or your vision. So let's forgive everyone and let's move forward and do what God called us to do as women, as Black women, as men, as women and men of God. Just do what God has called you to do.
Amen.
Awesome.
Amen.
And just so y'all know, we don't want to be in a space to where we just blocking our blessings.
Right.
So we gotta heal. We gotta heal.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Teresa. If you're out there, you are supporting Teresa, please make sure that you get back with her, get her Cash App and support.
That's right.
Miss Tarsha, if
Yes.
you could leave the audience with a few words of encouragement, what would you leave them with?
Do not hold it on the inside. Like you guys said, it festers. I call it an infection, or I use the example of packing baking soda into a bottle, just packing it. And it only takes one drop of vinegar to make it explode. And that doesn't have to be who did it to you. It's just that you couldn't hold it any longer. And then there goes your whole entire relationship, your character, all of that stuff when we hold those things on the inside and don't get it out. So journal, write. Like I said, take pictures. Just do something for yourself. Self-care is so important, and getting that out of you is even more important because it becomes infectious.
Yeah.
So if I pack some baking soda, now just don't, I'm not making light of what you're saying. I'll country. So if I pack some baking, so I never did the baking soda with the vinegar. I know it all. It fizzles and it festers. Man, that's one drop.
One drop.
That's one issue or one person that can come.
That's that one word that could be a trigger word.
Oh yeah, I done had that happen before. I was ready to put some. I was gonna lay some hands, but it wasn't gonna be the way they think I was gonna lay some hands. Yeah, I was ready to put some. I was ready to throw. Yeah. Anyway.
Well, thank you so much, Tarsha. I'm looking forward to reading your story. Guys out there, if you know Tarsha, please make sure that you get her Cash App and support.
Thank you.
From her.
All right, Pastor Erika.
Yeah.
You up? What you gonna leave?
The one word that I would want to leave everybody is faith. We all know the scripture. Now, faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. Well, faith isn't what you see or what you know. Faith is reaching beyond the things that you can't see, but knowing and believing and trusting that is going to happen for you. So that, to me, faith and courage are like the same thing. So have the courage to step out on faith, to start your business, your dreams, your ideas. Don't allow people to tell you what you cannot do. Trust God, trust yourself, trust the vision, trust the plan, and know that God is working in your favor.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Pastor. I am so excited to be a part of this movement. You are the visionary, and I thank you so much for just bringing this to all of us ladies and just getting the word out, not for just women, but for everyone. So guys, if you're out there, and Pastor Erika, please get with her and pre-order the book from her. Okay. Hey, I just want to say, don't block your blessing.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Because when you hold stuff in, you blocking your blessing. Don't block it. Get it out.
That's right.
Get it out.
We hold on to anger. Anger doesn't hold on to us. Let it go.
Right. Let it go. Okay, and don't worry about what the naysayers and what all the people say. Don't block your blessing.
That's right.
Right.
So, ladies, it's been real. You know what I'm saying? It's been real. If y'all just jumping on, we about to bring this thing to an end. We got National Business Builders here with Miss Teresa McKoy, Miss Tarsha Gunn, Miss Erika T. Moore. They got titles, y'all, but they're women first. So, my wife, Miss Dorothy McKinley, and yours truly, Erika McKinley, guys. We are National Business Builders, and this is Business with National Business Builders, guys. Listen, we're gonna have one more broadcast this month. I just said this month. I didn't say one more broadcast. This month. We got some
Yes.
other things in the works, and it's going to be
Yes.
next Saturday at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So be on the lookout for the flyer. Be on the lookout. But if you don't see anything, chime back in at 8 o'clock Saturday morning. We're going to be here. I promise you.
Right.
We're gonna be here. But like I always say, when you know better, that's when you have the ability to do better. And the only knowledge that's powerful is properly applied knowledge. Listen, like this, share it, tag somebody, get back with the ladies and support them.
Yes.
And if you don't have the financial, if you don't have the ability to have financial support, share the
Share.
information.
You know,
Share it.
with someone.
Sharing and supporting as well.
Mhm.
Okay.
Mhm.
And don't be a hater. But if you decide to hate, cool, they're gonna send you something anyway. So
Yeah, you're still gonna be blessed. I'm still gonna pray for you.
absolutely. But hey, listen, thank y'all, ladies. Appreciate it. We're gonna go ahead and retire for now. Get back to this beach.
Woo! Awesome. Have fun.
Dominican Republic, y'all. It's been a pleasure. Plum, please, and pleasure. You guys
Thank
have
y'all
an
so
awesome day.
much. Y'all have a great day.
Thank you guys too. Have fun.
Thank you.